Hey, it's Mike. I'm back. I'm live, and I'm ready to talk about some Krishna stuff. So let's see what's. Let me see what's going on here. Whoa! Hey, we got fake human. Fake human. Hey, how's it going? See you here. Uh, Kooky Falcon. Hey, great to have you here. So I got a lot to talk about. I want to talk about uh, Rtvik bullshit, pod bullshit, and it's all together the same bullshit. And I got some other stuff to do, some other stuff to look at, and I'm excited. My computer's up and running again. I've been out of it for a couple days, so it's great to be back. So let's get right to it. Let's get to the opening, and let's go.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, and I got Easy Market. Easy Market snuck in here. I didn't even know you were sitting in the back. Okay. So hey, how you doing? All right. So I want to talk about these this Rtvik bullshit, and how the Rtvik bullshit. Uh, it does two things. It keeps people in this cult when they were ready to leave. They were ready to get out, and they came across this Rtvik stuff, and they got stuck in it. Or they left, but they're still attached through this Rtvik bullshit that somehow it's not Prabhupada's fault and it's not a cult and all of this crap. Basically, what it does is it takes the focus off of Prabhupada and puts it on somebody else, is what it does. But it's all in Prabhupada's books, and it's all Prabhupada. So these Ritviks are a scam, just like everybody else. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by these guys being a scam. So let's see, what do we got? Hey, on the phone with Hot Lips. Have Hot Lips come in here and tell Hot Lips to get in here. She needs to hear the truth about these gurus. And her guru is no different than these other fake, fraudulent gurus, all based on a bunch of bullshit. And that's really the bottom line. This is all based on a bunch of bullshit. And who's to say that this bullshit? I mean, you can sit there and say this bullshit is real. I don't care. No one, no one who has any sense, who has anything going on in their brain, is going to accept this bullshit for reality. I'm sorry. The earth, the sun is closer to the earth than the moon because Sunday comes before Monday. I mean, come on, man. Hey, user, see you later. Good to see you here. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get the show on the road. Ding. And let's look at the first thing I want to show. First thing I want to talk about is I don't even know where to start with this. Let's start here. This is from 2010, and I know I've done this before, but it all ties together. So I just wanted to, I gotta go back and I gotta talk about this again. So this is from 2010. This is from the Sampradaya Sun, written by someone named Rochan Das, where he says, Bhaktivedanta Eco Village, Tattva Darshan Das, convicted sex offender. And then he goes on and says, February 9, Australia, Tattva Darshan Das, founder of the Bhaktivedanta Eco Village, was last year convicted of intent to commit debauchery. The following article is written because of the pain felt for devotees, children in particular, who have been victims of sexual abuse whilst ostensibly in the care of responsible devotees. Responsible devotees does not exist. And the pain felt by devotees who have seen their loved ones abused. And the pain felt by all of us who have seen the reputation of ISKCON badly shattered by these events. It is also written out of concern for those who will unfortunately be victims of such sexual abuse in the future, which will happen if the scourge of pedophilia is not dealt with vigilantly. Well, of course it's going to happen in the future because it's in Prabhupada's books. You guys don't do anything about it. Prabhupada promotes it in his books. So of course there's going to be pedophilia in the future. Hey, it's Philosopher-E5. Good to see you. I hope you're in the right room here. I hope you're in the right class. This is a deprogramming class. So it says the Bhaktivedanta Eco Village in Karnataka State, South India, is a jewel in the golden setting. I'm not going to go through all this stuff. It says, the Sampradaya Sun carried several articles a couple years ago referring to the dark side of the founder of the BEV, Bhaktivedanta Eco Village, Tattva Darshan. We read the headline, Hare Krishna leader accused of pedophilia in Cambodia, about how he has been arrested in Cambodia for being with young girls in a hotel room in a state of undress. He was released from jail early last year after serving a one-year term because some of these Ritviks went and helped to get him out. It goes on and it says, we also read in the Times of India that Tattva Darshan has been in trouble with the Indian authorities in the past. He was detained for questioning by the police 7 years ago after a complaint of child sex abuse from an ISKCON devotee. It says, so what has happened since then? Well, firstly, ISKCON authorities wasted no time in doing the needful in a way we would surely not have seen pre-Turley lawsuit. To their credit, they firmly terminated all connection with Bhaktivedanta Eco Village and Tattva Darshan. Reference to the Bhaktivedanta Eco Village is no longer to be found on the ISKCON website, nor in the BBTI publications, including the Back to Godhead. Tattva Darshan is not welcome on ISKCON properties. The cover-up, however, continues, but this time it's under new management. It goes on and it says, the former advocates of reform, Jyotiradi Das, who spent large sums to assist Tattva Darshan during his incarceration, and Mandapa Das, both buddies of Tattva Darshan, who were in Cambodia with him at the time of his arrest, along with Mahashringa Das, another old buddy, are principal members of the recently revamped Bhaktivedanta Eco Village Board. So it goes on and it says, Tattva Darshana is still the prominent person at Bhaktivedanta Eco Village. His presence there is condoned by the Bhaktivedanta Eco Village Board. Yet since being released from prison, Tattva Darshan has neither admitted his guilt nor shown repentance. He claims he was in Phnom Penh hotel room only for a massage. But in any event, what the heck was he doing getting a Thai massage from two female children? And they were all naked. Evidently, they were all naked. So, and it goes on and it says, Jitterati is adamant that Tattva Darshan is not a pedophile. Why Jitterati is denying that Tattva Darshan is a pedophile, his contention is that a person is a pedophile only if they are attracted to prepubescent children. The 12-year-old girl in the Phnom Penh hotel room was not prepubescent. Therefore, according to Jitterati, Tattva Darshan is not a pedophile. And that comes, evidently, that is coming. Jitterati is using Prabhupada's books to say that Tattva Darshan, that these children, these 12-year-old children, a 12-year-old girl is not, sex with a 12-year-old child is not pedophilia. That is what Jitterati is saying. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. So that's what Jitterati is trying to say, and if he's following Prabhupada's books, he's absolutely right. Jitterati is correct in that this is coming from Prabhupada's books, and this is pedophilia. Jitterati is trying to say no, it's not. No, but it is. Okay, so. This is who this Tattva Darshan is. Okay, so and coincidentally, this is why I left the Hare Krishna. This is what woke me up to all the bullshit in the Hare Krishna movement. Was this exact episode, because I was involved with Yashodanandan and Dhamma Ghosh. Here he says right here about Dhamma Ghosh. In his article, Dhamma Ghosh writes, I can quite truthfully recommend this ashram called Bhaktivedanta Eco Village, which also has a wonderful school going on daily, as a fit place for any devotee of the Lord to reside for the rest of his or her life. If you want to know more, please contact Tattva Darshan. So this was Dhamma Ghosh he was one of the board of directors of the group in which I was the secretary of the board of directors. And here it goes on, Yashodanandan Prabhu, president of the Hare Krishna Society, a Rtvik reform organization of which Dhamma Ghosh is an office bearer, and I was an office bearer, wrote, the article by Dhamma Ghosh has been banned from publication and release on the Hare Krishna Society webpage. And I was the one that was operating the webpage. So this is exactly how I came to leave the Hare Krishna movement. This is what opened my eyes to this whole thing. It was much bigger and deeper than just this one or two paragraphs. But coincidentally, I was involved. I was kind of like part of this whole thing. My name's not in this article, but I believe my name ended up being in one of these in one of these articles somewhere, my name was Sri Mukunda this or that, just said this. Sri Mukunda said that, or I don't know. But anyway, so that's who this Tattva Darshana is now. Soul search. Yeah, that was a massage. That was a Ramananda Roy type massage. That was that's what that was. He was playing Ramananda Roy with some Davy Dassies. There was some Davy Dassies. You thought there was some Davy Dassies in here? All right, Ed. All right, I'll make a mental note of that. I'll try to make a mental note of that if I can. Mentally note that. I'll try to mentally note that. So this Tattva Darshan character, let's see. So this is a video 2 days ago, from 2 days ago. Let's take a look at this. Let's see this. Let me see if I got it.
Say is that I've associated very closely with all the gurus, the GBCs, ISKCON leaders and devotees since 1973. So we're looking at over 50 years. Very close. And I have to say that the devotees in ISKCON Bangalore group of temples are some of the finest devotees that I've ever seen in all my sojourn through Krishna Cult.
So all these years, 50 years, there I am. So all those years, right? 50 years or 40 years of Hare Krishna since 1973. 40 years of Hare Krishna. He just could not stop going to Cambodia. He couldn't stop going to Cambodia to get massages from 12-year-old girls, man. Like, okay, look, there's plenty of places you can go and get massages from adult women if you need a massage. If you need a massage, you can get a massage from an adult grown woman. You don't have to go to a 12-year-old girl or a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old girl. You just don't have to do it. And I don't care how many years of doing Hare Krishna, and you want to say, well, this is Vedic or something. I'm speechless. Do these guys not know of his background? One would think with their head that, hey, who is this guy?
They are real. The highest compliment that one could give anybody is that he's a Prabhupada man for us Vaishnavas. And I can say that these devotees are so well behaved.
Look at him with his big T-lock on his T-lock, whatever you fucking call that, on his fucking idiot. And he thinks he deserves to sit there and lecture somebody with a microphone after the history and the allegation that he has against him. Like nobody else on that stage has ever been in a hotel room with 12-year-old that we know of. Got caught in a hotel room with a 12-year-old girl getting a Thai massage in Cambodia. Nobody else on that stage has been accused of touching all these little boys, girls, or whatever in his school, on his farm. So many allegations that it's so many allegations against this guy. ISKCON said, "Hey, we don't want nothing to do with you." You know how bad you got to be. You know how bad you got to be for ISKCON to say, "All right, we've had enough." man, there's a guy sitting in jail for shooting a devotee in the head, and ISKCON ain't cut him loose, but this guy they cut loose.
So mannered, so disciplined, so Krishna conscious.
Oh, so were you disciplined and Krishna conscious when you were putting that condom on your weenie when the little girl was sitting in the room? And what was Jitterati doing? What was Jitterati doing in the same hotel? I mean, obviously he was getting. I mean, come on, they're all buddies. What were they all doing? This is the guy they were getting. This is the guy they wanted to get. So they got him. This is the guy with the allegations. This is the guy they were tracking. This is the guy that they were watching. They didn't care about Jitterati and the other guys, but what were they doing? Well, were they just waiting there? They're like, man, I hope this Tattva hurries up, man. We gotta go distribute these books. I don't know what's taking him so long with his massage. What was Jitterati doing? Well, and Mandapa and Maha whatever. What were they doing? Give me a break, man.
And they are all Prabhupada men.
Oh, Prabhupada man. Look at these guys.
The second thing I'd like to say here is concerning Amiyatma made the statement that the GBC asked him to find out what is this Rtvik.
This is like a stage of friggin' ISKCON rejects. You know how much of a reject you got to be an ISKCON reject? Because ISKCON is already a friggin' reject. So you gotta be so friggin' such a reject to be a friggin' ISKCON reject. Man, look at that. Meditate on that banana. That's this guy, and I gotta thank Rafal for bringing this video to. This was October 13th. This was just a couple days ago. And where is this? This is the Struggle for Truth. This is Madhu Pandit's webpage. This is Madhu Pandit's Bangalore whatever page. YouTube channel page. He's with Madhu Pandit now. He's a big Madhu Pandit. That's where they are. They're at some Madhu Pandit festival.
System. They asked him,
and Madhu Pandit.
He came around. Now, way back
Martin
in
Watts. How you doing, buddy?
1983, beginnings of 80s, the GBC asked one of our prominent
นี่ไงผงฟูเขาวางไว้ให้แล้วเองกินเยอะขนาดนี้ต้องมีตัวช่วย
Look out.
GBC men named Balavanta to find out what is this rumor about Prabhupada was poisoned. Balavanta was a man that Srila Prabhupada said could become the president of the United States of America.
Yeah, well, Prabhupada was friggin' delusional, okay? I don't care what you say. Prabhupada was delusional. He was not of sound mind and body. Okay, but these guys, look at these guys. They think that they deserve. This guy thinks he deserves to be sitting there lecturing these people. I don't care what he could be lecturing about. I wouldn't want to sit there and listen to him, knowing what he's been through, what he's done, what he's been accused of. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near. I wouldn't want to be in the same parking lot. If we were both at Disneyland, I wouldn't want to be parked or anywhere near the guy. Just struggle for truth. Give me a break of the truth. These guys are so full of shit. The struggle for truth. The truth is the guy's friggin' a pedophile. He doesn't deserve to be sitting there. That's what the truth is. The truth is, why the fuck you got this guy? Of all the people that you have that could be sitting there lecturing about anything, you pick this guy. Why? Why this guy? Why is he so? That's what I said from the friggin' beginning. Why? What makes him so special? Don't inquire about God because you'll get brainwashed and ruined by a cult. Don't have an open mind. Don't have no open mind because they're going to jump right in there and fuck it up. Fuck your open mind up. Why do they feel that this guy, this guy over here says that he wrote a bunch of articles about this Tattva Darshana guy. He said, I wrote articles a couple years ago. Hare Krishna leader accused of pedophilia in Cambodia. I wrote about a couple years ago about the dark side of this guy. The Times of India wrote about this guy. Then he's arrested and thrown in jail, and these guys go get him out. And I mean, okay, I understand it's your buddy or whatever. Let's say it's your old time buddy. Okay, but you got to draw the line somewhere. No, there's no lines. There's no lines. There's no drawing of lines. These guys are friggin' insane. To go back to this article, he says, worse, Damagosh conveniently neglected to mention in his article that the contact person he named must register as a sex offender if he intends to visit the USA. And that's what I'm saying. Is like these guys don't care. They don't care that this guy has been accused and thrown in jail in a foreign country for sex crimes. Maybe he knows where a few bodies are buried. I bet he knows where a bunch of bodies are buried. I bet he does. I bet the fuck he does. They're all fucking scammers and they're all fucking pieces of shit. And that's what I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it forever. These people want to say, well, a lot of people join ISKCON and nothing bad happens to them. Yes, it does. Everything bad happens to them. They don't need that bullshit in their lives. All frustrated, confused after 2 months. Being in it for 2 months, you already want to break up with your boyfriend. Don't want to talk to your family anymore. Doing all kinds of... That ain't normal. That ain't normal. That's why it's a cult. That ain't normal. That ain't normal shit. People find religion all the time, but they don't friggin' go crazy and have to break up with their boyfriend and change their everything about them, and it's insane. All for a bunch of fucking lies and a bunch of fucking bullshit. You know, it makes as much sense as if you were to join a cult that worshipped friggin' Zeus and Apollo and Poseidon, and you're running around in a friggin' toga with friggin' leaves around your head, and you're friggin' talking like you're in fucking Greek, in ancient Greek. I gotta do my offering to Zeus. I gotta chant my mantra to Poseidon. Otherwise, it's not gonna rain. Or I gotta whatever fucking stupid. Y'all see how stupid that sounds? They're no different than that. People go, you're in a friggin' Zeus cult? You're worshiping Zeus? And you think it's real? I mean, I understand if you wanted to like say, hey, yeah, I worship Zeus. You know, I got a statue of Zeus in my house, you know, ha, ha, ha. You know, it's kind of cool, you know, and whatever. And it's, you know, a fad. But no, this is real shit. Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning so you can take a cold shower so you can go worship Zeus and lay some flowers. I got to get some flowers. I got to put flowers at Zeus's feet. And then I got to chant. I got to lay down in front of Zeus And then I got oh, Zeus, 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 and I'm gonna chant holy Zeus, Zeus, Zeus. People would fucking lock you up. Tell me that this shit's normal. It doesn't harm anybody. Fucking insane. We haven't even got to the fucking domestic abuse and violence. You talk about people like Rupa Manjari, who said Narayan tried to kill her twice, abused all of his wives. He had friggin' 18 wives, abused them all, abused her, had friggin' 25 kids or whatever. Why do you think how do you think they grew up? Their dad is like, they don't even know where he's at, and what wife he's at, who mom is what, and how many brothers and sisters they have, and friggin' insanity. And she's right there along with it. I mean, this is friggin' insane. You say, well, I know someone who wasn't harmed by her. You know one person? Well, you know one friggin' person? You got people like this guy. You think this guy's the only one? Think this guy's the only one? These guys are a dime a dozen in friggin' ISKCON. Guys are a friggin' dime a dozen. And look, and look at this is how it all ties in to pod fraud and the Rtvik fraud. Because here's the Rtvik. Look, this is pod Krishna 1008 bullshit. Thinks he's saving children and doing all this shit, saving children, saving women and children. Oh, he filed a lawsuit and he did this and he's just a big. He's done everything. And what does he do? He's promoting Madhu Pandit. He's promoting Madhu Pandit. Way to go, Madhu Pandit. He's all into Madhu Pandit and this and that. Look, struggle for truth. Struggle for truth, right there. Struggle for truth. The same people. Same people. This guy. Struggle for truth. Tattva Darshana, Madhu Pandit, pod. They're all together in the same, they're all in the same Prabhupada child molestation, child marriage, racist, sexist bullshit. All of them. Pod, he will put everybody's name in here. If you friggin' sneeze in Pod's direction and he doesn't like it, he sticks you in here. But he didn't say nothing about Madhu Pandit and Tattva Darshana and the children and getting arrested in Cambodia. He didn't want to talk about that. He don't want to talk about that. He's going to talk about all the people he don't like. HKC Jaipur and Bhaktidas and Radhanath. And he's going to talk about the pedophile messiahs and samadhis and glorifying and pedophile gurus and having oral sex with boys and killed Slochan and all this. But when it comes to Tattva Darshana and Madhu Pandit working together in the same temple, he didn't got nothing to say about that. He's got Madhu Pandit right here. He's like, Madhu Pandit's new video. Look, yeah, way to go, Madhu Pandit. So he's cheering on Madhu Pandit, who's promoting Tattva Darshana. So according to Pod's logic, he's directly cheering on and supporting Tattva Darshana. So I say these guys are nothing but scammers. Then he's going to say, HKC and Jaipur versus Pod update. Oh, like they're at war with each other, right? And then but he's like, Madhu Pandit's new video. Way to go, Madhu Pandit. Yay. Yay, Madhu Pandit. But he's got nothing to say. He got nothing to say about This guy and Madhu Pandit together.
He's a very top lawyer who goes everywhere in helicopters and all kind of things. He's not just a simple, ordinary man. So Balavanta on the...
I wouldn't want to sit on the stage with this guy. I wouldn't want to sit on the stage with this guy. You know, I wouldn't want to sit on the stage with that piece of shit. I wish I had ran away when I sang those songs degrading me as a fallen soul. I knew I should never come back, but I did. Oh boy, I regret this choice. Yeah, you know, and that's one thing why I really hate these Ritviks and this pod guy and this pod page and all these guys, because people are thinking of leaving. They want to leave. They've had enough. Their gurus have fallen or whatever. And these Ritviks come in and swoop in and go, hey, it's not the guru. It's not Prabhupada's fault. It's the guru and this and that. And we can fix it. We can make it better. This Hare Krishna cult will brainwash you to the point you will guilt trip yourself to no end. Absolutely, man. Hey, at least we can dress up like him for Halloween. Just need to get that tan going. Need to get that tan going. So I wanted to share something else with you. You know, it's a cult, and I said before about I'm not trying to rag on anybody. Everybody's at their own place, you know. But this is from Nori Muster, and she has her own history with ISKCON, and she says she said she was in ISKCON for 10 years, and then she researched it for 10 years so she could write some books. So what she says in this video, what she says in this, is she writes this thing about can cults change, and she's like, specifically, ISKCON. Can ISKCON change? It's a cult, and this is pretty, and I want to say this is pretty typical of how some devotees end up with ISKCON. Oh, these are this nice background picture. Yeah, it's a stock photo. That's pretty good. Thanks. Good to see you here. Nice to see you here. Retards are us, man. I'm telling you. Hey, good afternoon. Yeah. Hey, Jai. So this is a lot. This is how a lot of devotees end up coming away with. This is how they think, and I'm going to comment on what she has to say. And it says, so this was in 1999, so this is a while ago. But she says, originally there was a time when ISKCON was innocent. It truly represented a branch of Hinduism in a pure way. Many ISKCON members feel nostalgia for those days, and their ideal is to make ISKCON just like it was when Prabhupada was their guru, when Srila Prabhupada, their guru, was alive and actively leading the group. So, and then she says, if ISKCON were to change for the better, this would mean reviving that innocence. There was no innocence. There was never any innocence. Children were being molested as soon as he opened up the Gurukula schools. Children were immediately being molested. Kirtananda was going nuts and doing his own thing and harming people from the very beginning. This cult was destroying people's lives and harming women and children while Prabhupada was here. Who do you think is responsible for this horror? It's not these gurus. It's not these gurus. Prabhupada put everything in place exactly the way he wanted it run. He ran it for 10 years exactly the way he wanted it. with the people he wanted in charge. He put them there. He appointed them to their positions. He created the GBC and told them how to operate. He told them how to make decisions and what decisions to make. He gave them sannyas and he made them preachers and sent them out and told them how to preach. He did it all. How can you blame the people that were following him for following him? They have this romanticized, fantasized idea that somehow everything was perfect when Prabhupada was there. No. It was far from perfect. It was never, ISKCON was never innocent of anything. The Robin George case happened when Prabhupada was here. They were hiding out underage kids. They were molesting little kids in the schools, torturing them. Domestic abuse. Narayan was smacking his wives around from the very beginning. This is nothing that happened after Prabhupada left. This is all Prabhupada. She goes on and she says, beginning in the early 1990s, certain greedy and cruel men came into power within ISKCON. Now, Prabhupada put them there. Prabhupada knew them better than anybody. Prabhupada appointed everyone. He made them gurus. He had a little thing and the ghee and the fire and the whole thing, and he gave them beads and he gave them threads. And he gave them their names, and he told them where to go and what to do. She acts like it just happened. Like it just happened. Like certain greedy men were like, you know what? This is the plan. The four of us are gonna join the Hare Krishnas, and then when we get in there, boy, yeah, we're gonna shave our heads and we're gonna take over. Ooh. That's not what happened. Prabhupada created these guys. He filled their heads full of shit, told them what to do, wound them up like little robots, and sent them out. That's what he did. That's what he did. And you don't like what happened. You don't like what happened after that. You don't like what Prabhupada sent all those monsters out on the world, and they fucking acted exactly like what Prabhupada wanted them to do, talked the way Prabhupada wanted them to talk, dressed the way Prabhupada wanted them to dress, acted the way Prabhupada wanted them to act, and you don't like it. You didn't like that. Running after. They all right, now here we go. Jai Shri Avadhut Krishna Ramachandra Madhusudana Radha Ramadi Balaram Nishinga Sajak Subhadra Bridhat Sena Sri Banu Jagat Guru Srila Mukundadas Madhav Jai. That's a good one. I like that one. I gotta save that one. I gotta figure out how I can save that. I gotta save that and make it into a I don't know. I wanted to. I was gonna do it, but I don't know. I can't. Prabhupada was creating many monster versions of himself to spread his. Absolutely, he was. He absolutely was. He was giving them one-on-one. He was giving them one-on-one classes on how to act, how to talk, how to do all of that. I'll show you exactly some of this. Same with the Scientology free zoners. They idolize Hubbard and believe that David Miscavige is the reason for all the bad stuff, when in reality, If they do that's exactly, absolutely, exactly the same. The longer the title and name, the crazier it gets. Absolutely, it gets. Might as well, might as well. I mean, hey, might as well. So, okay, where was I now? Okay, so yeah, Maury. Uh, so she says the greedy and cruel men came into power, like they just like beamed in, like from Star Trek, and, like, and then all of a sudden, oh, here we are, we're the bad guys. Um, uh, if the organization now really wants to change for the better, it should remove all illegitimate gurus, governing body, board members, temple presidents, sannyasis, and so on. Why? I mean, they're not there. They got there the way they were supposed to be there, the way Prabhupada wanted them to be there. It doesn't make sense. So she goes on. She says about recruitment, she says, throughout its history, ISKCON has used irresponsible recruitment methods. The most cult-like aspect is that they encourage interested people to move in and dedicate their whole lives to the organization. So she doesn't say it's a cult, and like cults, it does this and it does that. No, she says there's a cult-like aspect where they encouraged people. Like, she wants to apologize for them. She wants to say, they're not really a cult, but they kind of acted like one, and they could do better. Like, alienated former members. Over the years, ISKCON board of directors has made many enemies, especially among former members. Um, she's I don't know. I think she's been so brainwashed by this cult, even though she's left the cult, written books about the cult. She's still so messed up in the head. I'm so glad I'm not like that. She says, over the years, ISKCON's board of directors has made many enemies, especially among former members. For example, they excommunicated a vocal critic named Paranjan. This is the nut that I'm talking about. After he excused one of the gurus of taking LSD, speaking about this violated their rules. Paranjan has now, it seems, become a lifelong enemy of ISKCON. He's not really an enemy of ISKCON. He's just he's a critic of ISKCON, but he's still a member, and he still promotes everything that's in Prabhupada's books. And he wants to bring more people in. He wants to bring them to Madhu Pandit's temple, where Tattva Darshan is. That's what this Paranjan wants to do. He's promoting Madhu Pandit's place like it's somewhere where everyone should go. Where this other guy was saying, we don't promote Tattva Darshan's thing. ISKCON's not promoting them, and even Yashodanandans had me take Dhamma Ghosh's article off of the webpage. So we were being dishonest when we were being, Yashodananda wanted to be dishonest. He wanted to support Tattva Darshan, but at the same time, he didn't want to put Dhamma Ghosh's article glorifying Tattva Darshan on our webpage. So he wanted to have it both ways and just pretend like there was no conflict or anything going on. So even though ISKCON and Yashodanandan understood that they didn't want anything to do with, publicly didn't want anything to do with this Tattva Darshan, behind the scenes, Yashodananda had no problem going and hanging out with, and all of them going and hanging out with Tattva Darshan. And that's what these guys are doing right here.
Order of the GBC, he started some forensic examinations, he started some interviews, and he told the GBC there's some credibility here. They took him off the project.
So who's the real scammer and fraud here? Somebody's not being honest. ISKCON and Rtvik movements are one and the same. They are all cults. Even Prabhupada said that Gaudiya Vaishnavam is a cult of Krishna. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Whoops, there we go. Yeah, and so you've got this Nori Muster who's like, she's a critic, she's outside, she's written books about, but she still has these feelings about ISKCON as if there's something good, like something bad happened to it, like something bad happened. It was once good. It was never good. It was never good. She says, in reality, their differences are very minor, but these disagreements have resulted in beatings, death threats, and even murder. Well, why would you want to be part of something like that? Why would you want to be part of a group? You go to these temples, there's not a lot of people in these temples. This is a small organization. You want to be part of something like this. Beatings, death threats, and murder. She's talking about her own people here. She's trying to make it sound, I don't know. She's like, if ISKCON wants to change, it should really cut out the beatings, death threats, and murder. That's not a good good advertisement for your cult. If things are to change for the better, ISKCON needs to acknowledge these former members and make peace with them. How about not beating, making death threats, and murdering people? How about that? Child abuse. She says, I'm currently writing a book about the rampant abuse of the first generation of Krishna kids, born in the late 60s to early 70s. Okay, these are adults now. So much has been done about these kids. So many books have been written, videos have been made, documentaries have been made, lawsuits have been filed. How about looking into the abuses of today in this movement and try to figure out why abuse has been going on for 60 years and it's like there's no stop. How about looking into these books and seeing if what's in these books is causing some of this abuse? Maybe there's something in these books and something in his teachings that are causing this rampant abuse. How about writing a book on that? How about researching that? She says spousal abuse. For a long time, ISKCON has had leaders who beat their wives and advocate wife beating among the other married men. How about write a book about that? Also, ISKCON arranged marriages between minor-aged girls and often abusive men. The girls' complaints were generally ignored. I mean, how much confirmation do you need to admit that this is a pedophile child marriage arranging cult? Nori Muster is saying. I mean, I'm going to read this again. For a long time, ISKCON has had leaders who beat their wives and advocate wife beating among the other married men. Also, ISKCON arranged marriages between minor-aged girls and often abusive men. Now, how would she know that? She has to have firsthand knowledge of that. And she says it like, like arranged marriages between minor-aged girls, like it was like a common thing. It's not like one or two. Because it wasn't one or two. It was commonplace. And they're doing it to this day. The lady on the pod webpage, that's the hypocrisy of this pod guy. He ain't protecting nobody. He's saying on the article, the lady said that someone came up to her in Mayapur asking about her beautiful young daughter could marry her grown son. That's in the here and now. We're not talking about the 60s or 70s. What is going on that people walk around looking for little girls to marry off to their son? Tell me this isn't a friggin' disgusting ass pedophile cult. Explain that to me, how it's not a cult of pedophiles. You got women canvassing for little girls for their grown son. That's friggin' disgusting. Why? Because you got guys like this giving lectures.
Then the next one was the final order. We call it the final order now. There was a Giridhari Swami.
They just sit there and act like he's some holy man with bullshit on his arms and flowers and beads. Fucking guy belongs in jail. Guy belongs in jail. You're gonna sit there and lecture people about something? The fuck you gonna lecture me about? What the fuck you gonna teach me? I'm serious, man. These guys are fucking disgusting. Fucking disgusting. It's disgusting. Fuck. And you got people like Nori Muster. Can't even like own up to the fact that you were in a cult. Girl, you were in a cult. Just admit it. You were in it. You were in a cult. Over the years, many innocent people were beaten or kicked out of temples because they sided with the wrong. Who the hell does that? I grew up in a Catholic church. We went to church every Sunday, and I never saw nobody get beat, murdered, whatever. I mean, they had their own child molestation problems, as do a lot of places. You know, Boy Scouts and a lot of places have problems. But I mean, come on, these temples, man. I'm telling you. And she knows because she was in it. She was up there with these gurus. She knows about the abuse. She knows that innocent people were beaten and kicked out because she saw it. And she's still apologizing for them. Oh, ISKCON could be better if it does this. ISKCON could do better if it does that. No, ISKCON needs to shut down. It needs to close up shop. It needs to just cut it and run, go. Done. We don't need that. We don't need that shit. Nobody wants that shit. Can't even recognize you're in a friggin' cult. You recognize all this shit, but you can't recognize you're in a cult. You spend 10 years researching, but you can't figure out you're in a cult. You were in a cult. Just admit it. Just admit it. Say, I was in a cult. I was in a fucking cult. I was in it longer than you, Nori. I was in it for 20 years. I was in it for 20 years, Nori. You were in it for 10. I'm big enough to say, yeah, they got me for 20 fucking years of my life. They took 20 years of my life. I ain't gonna fucking say, oh, it could do. Fuck that. It's a fucking cult. Apologize for these fucking freaks, these scam artists, bullshit artists. Think they're smarter than everybody? They ain't smarter than nobody. Guy ain't smarter than nobody. Look at this bullshit. Look at another one from Rafael. So you can see, this is fucking disgusting crap that these guys do, man.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna,
so fucking deluded, so fucking deluded that they think that they're washing this guy's feet, this guy's stinky ass, dirty feet, that they're gonna fucking go to heaven or they're gonna fucking go space travel. Worse than heaven. It's worse than heaven. They're gonna space travel. They're gonna space travel through the universe, through the coverings of the universe. They're gonna bust through the earth, fire, air, ether, water, air, fire, whatever, ether, whatever coverings of the universe, and whoosh off to the heavenly, through the heavenly planets, whoosh, and they're gonna just keep space traveling all the way till they get to the spiritual world, and they're gonna land in Goloka Vrindavan, and they're gonna take the body, get the body of an 11-year-old girl, and they're gonna march down the Star Wars friggin' thing, and Krishna and Radha are gonna be. Because they're washing this guy's feet. That's their friggin'. Grown man. The grown man. Look at that. Cute turd. Look at that. Look at that. Two grown men washing that guy's feet. That fucking scammer's feet. He hasn't done a fucking thing his whole life. He hasn't fucking done a whole thing, anything in his whole life. You know, fucking holy man. Only thing he does is pal around with pedophiles. He pals around with pedophiles. He runs around, spends other people's money. That's what he does. That's what he's good at doing. He's good at collecting other people's money and then spending it. Spending it however he likes. He doesn't have to answer to nobody. You give him money, he doesn't have to tell you what he's going to do with it. He can do whatever the fuck he wants with it. He can go get his feet washed. He can go put on a new silk outfit. He can go fly to India. He can go fly to wherever the fuck he wants to go. He doesn't care. He doesn't answer to nobody. He ain't got nobody to tell him no. Everybody around him tells him yes. Thinks he's a friggin' holy man. Look at him. Getting his feet washed. Thinks he can actually he thinks he's so holy that he can bless these people with his feet. I bless you with my feet. I'm such a great person that just the mere washing of my feet will give you liberation and ecstasy and rebirth in a heavenly planet. It's the culmination of your entire life is washing my stinky feet. There's no better thing that you could ever do on the planet to better your spiritual life than to wash my feet. And as humiliating and degrading as it is, that is what your life is all about. Your life is just about washing my dirty, stinky feet. And I will sit and watch you do it and look at you and just think what an idiot you are for washing my feet. And then you give me money so I can go off to Poland and go dance around and sell books or whatever the fuck I want to do. And I don't answer to nobody. Nobody tells me what to do. I tell the world what to do. That's who I am. I'm so important. I tell the world what to do. I'm Hugh Turvey. I'm Hugh Turvey, damn it. I'm Hugh Turvey, damn it. I tell the world what to do. You must listen to me. I'm Hugh Turvey, damn it. It's disgusting. I know, it's so fucking disgusting. It's so, you gotta be out of your mind. So let's look at this guy. Let's look at this guy. I got it, man. When you talk about a scammer, this guy takes the cake on here. He's okay. I was gonna look at this one video, and then I saw, whoa, he's got a bunch of them. So I said, oh, he's got a bunch of them. So I said, oh, I'm gonna look at this one, and
Okay, dear devotees.
let's see what we got here.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. We're going to, seems by popular demand, we will continue from yesterday, a different theme. Today's theme will be interesting, and it's about being a cult. Good theme chosen by Radha Govinda Prabhu. And
Okay. So I want to just I want to mention the okay, so I wanted to mention the fuck. Okay, so this guy. Let me get back to this guy because this is. So this is swimmer pod. This is that fool that swims in the river. He begs for money he can go to London and swim in the river and do his little swimming thing, which has nothing to do with Krishna, has nothing to do with anything. And he tries to say, "Oh well, I'm doing it to raise money to to print books." When all you gotta do is just raise money to print books. You don't have to do the swimming thing. But anyway, he does the whole swimming thing. It's a total full on scam. But here he is. He thinks he's like Mr. Holy Man, and he's like he can actually debate. Like he can debate somebody about whether ISKCON is a cult or not. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm no debater. I'm no I'm nothing, right? I'm just some guy that was in this fucking cult for 20 years, and I know you can't pull no shit over me. You can't pull no shit over my eyes. But I'm not no debate team. I never went to college or nothing. I took some college classes, but I got no degree in nothing. I ain't got no, I ain't an idiot or nothing, but I ain't, I'm just saying I'm not an expert arguer or debater or whatever. I'm not. But this guy, he wants to pose himself as some kind of great debater, but he won't debate anybody. What he does is he has, like Prabhupada. Like Prabhupada was the same way. Prabhupada wanted to claim like he was some great Vedic scholar, who could, the greatest mind. But yet he would never debate anybody. He'd have fake debates with his disciples, and his disciples would pretend to be somebody. Well, that's not the same thing. Okay? That's not the same thing. That's like having me pretend to be a scientist. It's like, Mike, you pretend to be the scientist and I'll be the guru. Like, okay. I know. How about you have a real scientist? How about you have a scientist debate you? Not me playing a scientist. That's not a debate. Me pretending to be a scientist while you argue against me, and I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretending to be a scientist. That's not a debate. So if you want to have a debate about whether ISKCON's a cult or not, you need to have a debate with someone who knows about cults, not this guy. Not
chosen by Radha Govinda Prabhu. And
I chose this guy to be the cult expert, even though he's not a cult expert. He's going to play one on TV so I can defeat him. Like, even I I think I could defeat this guy because
Madhu, that's different from yesterday, is we'll see how our interaction goes, and if we're sort of feeling we're running out of steam, then we may stop at 45 minutes, and then we give it to you to continue asking challenging questions. So the debate continues. Now you're involved, and then you ask me.
I don't think this is an actual debate, because a debate would be we're going to debate is kind of a cult, and then there would be an opening statement by one, and then an opening statement by other, and then there would be questions posed to each person in order for them to make their case or their point. So debates there's a format to a debate. It's not just it's not just like you just start going back and forth at you. There's an actual way that two people debate a subject, and it's usually not just a conversation. It's usually if you watch on YouTube, you see some of these debates where they debate, like they'll have a religious guy and an atheist guy, philosopher guy, right? And they'll argue, they'll debate God. And so the guy will start off by pose the question. One guy will get up and he'll make his statement. Then the other guy gets up and he makes his statement. And then they have like a back and forth where the guy will ask him questions. It's not just like a free for all where they just start arguing about a subject. It's just, that's not a debate. That's an argument. That's an argument. That's not a debate. Hubbard had an interview with a fake journalist. Yeah, that's what these guys do. Is you be the journalist and you pretend to interview me, and then because they don't want to be with a real journalist. They don't want to be with a real scientist. They don't want to be with a real historian. Like, this guy's going to pretend to be a Vedic scholar, and then he's going to debate an actual Vedic scholar who actually is an actual Vedic scholar. No, he's not going to sit down with a Vedic scholar who's going to say, well, you don't know what you're talking about, because Bhagavad Gita was not written 5,000 years ago. Bhagavad Gita was written 800 BC or 400 BC or whatever it is. And then he's gonna like that's what I would say. I'd go, this is all based on a bunch of bullshit. What are you talking about? 5,000-year-old tradition, 5,000-year-old scriptures. Vyasadeva sitting in a mountain, 5,000 years old, talking to an elephant-headed guy, writing down. But don't give me that. Our debate would end. The debate I would have with him would end as soon as I sat down, because I would say I can't debate someone who believes an elephant-headed guy wrote down some stories up in the mountains 5,000 years ago. I can't do it.
You ask Radha Govinda Prabhu, then we both become the good guys. Okay, so I am going to hand it over to you, Mr. Not So Good Guy, and please introduce yourself.
So finally, I'm my original real Swarupa of another good guy. And I feel so relaxed because I don't need to play any role now. It's absolutely spontaneous. But I'll play the role of a seeker who initially was attracted to Gaudiya Vaishnavism through Sivarama Swami video vlogs, and being attracted by Sivarama Swami by his brilliant videos and presentations, I started to associate with ISKCON and with ISKCON's members, and also I involved my close friends. Here is, for example, Nisimha Krishna, Krishna Mala and Keshava Priya, they're from Turkey. We have
So it's absolutely ridiculous for him to debate is ISKCON a cult with an ISKCON member who's pretending not to be, because what this ends up being is just propaganda. This is strictly propaganda for him. This isn't a debate. This is in no way. This is in no way a debate. If this guy is not who he says he's just an actor. He's cosplaying. He's just pretending to be a seeker, a questioner, which means that this scammer guru guy is going to control the whole. He's going to control the whole conversation. Let's see where this goes.
Musicians, scientists, blindly accept anything.
Wait. Here he goes with the bullshit.
person, object, and goal.
Is that any different than anything that's going on in the world?
So he doesn't. I don't even know what the question was, but he won't answer the question. He answers the question with a question. So let's go back. Let me go back a little bit.
Somewhat disappointed. And we are not sure if ISKCON is not really a cult, a Hindu cult, a sect. And since now we met Mr. Sivarama Swami in person, we would like to discuss some issues and to reveal our doubts and to have an open, sincere and frank discussion. So Maharaj, for the beginning, please prove us that ISKCON is not a cult.
What's a cult?
What's a cult?
So there it is. The first question he doesn't answer. You know, he easily could have just said it's not a cult. But he answers with a question. He wants to be evasive. He wants to just come right out of the box and being a slimy and not be a real holy person.
So, a cult, according to the Wikipedia definition, is cults are social groups which have unusual and often extreme religious, spiritual, and philosophical beliefs and rituals. Another characteristics often ascribed to cults is extreme devotion to a particular person, object, and goal.
Is that any different than anything that's going on in the world? Of course, you have to define religious, but people have great devotion to rock stars, musicians.
So now he's being evasive and he's not answering the question. So he said devotion to one person. He's either stupid or he's just being evasive by not answering the question.
Type to cults is extreme devotion to a particular person, object, and goal.
Is that any different than anything that's going on in the world?
So is he saying, is that any different than anything that's going on in the world? Well, no, we're talking about ISKCON. We're talking about followers, your followers. Let's talk about your followers, Swimmer Pod. Are they overly devoted, extremely devoted to you individually, to just you? That is beyond what's accepted as normal in the world, like normal, just ordinary normal behavior according to Wikipedia. So is this normal? Is this normal everyday behavior, Mr. Swimmer Pod?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
I mean, who's doing that? who's who's doing that at a Taylor Swift concert? Is Taylor Swift at a Taylor Swift concert? Is she sitting on some throne and all her fans are coming up and washing her feet while she sits there and watches them and blesses them and tells them they're going to go to heaven or they're going to go to Taylor Swift planet, Swiftaloka or something? Is that what he thinks is going on in the real world? Is he that deluded that he thinks? Is he that deluded that he thinks that Taylor Swift or any movie star that people like that gets an award at the Academy Awards or does whatever, a football player or some baseball player who wins the World Series, you think that they're sitting there and this is going on, and you really think that this is going on, Mr. Sivarama?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
He really thinks we're that stupid.
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare.
He really thinks we're that stupid? That he thinks that washing of the feet is different, is the same, that washing of the feet is the same, and non-devotees are doing stuff like that to each other on a daily basis everywhere in the world. This is going on. Does he think like presidents and senators and mayors and UN delegates to the UN and whoever, does he think that people are sitting around and they're sitting on thrones and getting their feet washed while people are dancing around and singing and prayers to them and calling them Guru Dev and Maharaj while they sit there in their orange robes with flowers and beads? Does he think that that's what's going on? That's normal behavior in the rest of the world, and that why are you even bringing it up? Because how is that different? How is what we're doing different than what other people are doing? Dude, it's totally out of your, what are you talking about? He really thinks we're stupid. If you're stupid enough to give him money so he can go swim in a river and tell you that he's printing books, then I guess you're stupid enough to believe anything he says. You'll believe any of the bullshit that comes out of his mouth. They totally fit the description. He's sitting there like, huh? What do you mean? What do you mean we're a cult? Dude, you're the one that wants to have a debate about being a cult. See, and this is why he doesn't want to debate someone like Mike or someone, a cult, a particular person, object, or goal. Yeah, you Kiwi. It's the Kiwi. It's the Kiwi. That's our goal. Our goal is child marriage. Our goal is child marriage. And, the women are just, they're for fun. And then you get rid of them when you're done with them. That's their goal. His goal is to just leech off of innocent people who are gullible, innocent people who think that this stuff is real, and they're going to cosplay and go along with it as long as they can, get as much money as they can, and then when the jig is up, they bounce out. That's what they do. That's what they've done over and over again, and then they come back, and they go. And then they come back and they go to Juhu Beach or Mayapur or wherever and live out the rest of their days in pedophile leisure world.
Of course, you have to define religious, but people have great devotion.
So again, he wants the money. We'll define religion. People have great devotion.
Rock stars, musicians, scientists blindly accept anything that they say. Even
no, see, he's so wrong. He's so wrong. But
if they went to the moon, and
He doesn't believe we went to the moon.
Without any real evidence, and
Without any evidence, but there's plenty of evidence. What do you mean without evidence? See, this is he wants to compare. He wants to say that what we believe in the real world is just as flimsy as what they believe in their fantasy land. And that everything that they do in their fantasy land has a counterpart in our world. We just can't see it. Like, we have gurus and we worship them and wash their feet, and you have rock stars that perform in front of a large audience. Isn't that the same? We have gurus that abuse little kids and control every aspect of your life, and you have politicians that you worship. Well, no, we don't worship our. Well, whatever fits his whatever fits
they
his.
just follow
Don't
them,
interrupt
they
me while
follow
I'm trying
them
to.
through
If I
what you
say that you worship rock stars and you worship rock stars, I don't care if you worship their feet or not. You're doing the same thing we're doing, and I don't care. See, he doesn't have anyone that can argue back and say your answer is bullshit, especially his disciple.
call educational system, which is really a process of brainwashing everyone to become.
So he admits that they're brainwashing people because he wants to say, well, that your school system is brainwashing people. So again, he's trying to say everything you accuse us of doing, you're doing too.
A consumer and a producer, and if you don't do that, then you really excommunicated from society, then you're a misfit. So what's the difference from what you just said right now? Seems to be like the whole.
If he can't, that's such a false narrative or false alternative. It is a false comparative. There is no way to say that the real world is just as cultish as our hardcore cult. He's got no answer for it.
World around us is a cult.
The world around us is a cult. What is he on? He sounds very slow, like he's under the influence of something. Well, part of that is his way of sounding more intelligent, more spiritual, more intelligent. He pauses when he speaks as if each thought is very important and must be separated by gaps of silence. If there's no gaps of silence between what I'm saying, then what I'm saying loses significance. If I just start saying everything all at once, just keeps talking, and I'm saying this, and then I'm saying that, and then I'm saying this, and I'm saying that, it doesn't sound special in any way. So he has to talk in the trance speak to sound like a guru. It's a guru talk is what it is. Some people call it Percocet. It could be Percocets. I could be wrong, and it could be Percocet.
Well, I don't quite agree that you become excommunicated if you're not a follower of some pop star or movie star or things extremes like that.
It is. If you don't go to high school, college, if you don't have a degree, you end up a nobody or nothing.
Yeah.
He said if you don't go to high school or college, you end up a nobody. It's the same thing as being excommunicated from a religion or a cult. Now, see where his mind, he doesn't even have a valid argument of defending his cult and just say, I mean, if I was a devotee and I had to defend, I would say, well, we're not a cult because what we're doing is a tradition, Indian tradition, And if you go to India now, you will see people doing what we're doing. It's not a cult. This is a practice. This is a bona fide spiritual practice practiced by millions of people in India. But he can't even say that.
Success is based on those things.
I agree that there are some problems with that, and especially with the education.
No, there's problems everywhere, and there's problems in this God, like you said. We're in the material world.
Okay, so if I was debating him, I would say, well, if there's problems in ISKCON and we're in the material world, and there's going to be problems, and you're saying that because we're in the material world and there's going to be problems in ISKCON, then why should I join ISKCON? I can have problems in the material world without ISKCON. Why should I join ISKCON?
But what about still
In your
about...
time in ISKCON, you must have studied the philosophy.
I tried my best and I was quite open about it.
Did you find any problems with the philosophy?
I had...
Yeah, the philosophy that little girls need to be married by the time they're 12, 13 years old to 25-year-old men. I have a big problem with that philosophy. That's part of the philosophy that I have a big problem with. I also have a problem with the philosophy that women can be beaten, that you can beat a drum, a dog, and a woman. And I also have a problem with the philosophy that women like to be raped and they have small brains. Maharaj, do you agree with these things? He sounds like Bhagavan Das. They were all trained in the same. Yes, absolutely. They were all trained by the same cult leader. It's all coming from the top down. Absolutely. Criminal Factory by the mastermind Prabhupada. Yeah, and he's just teaching. And what he's doing is he's teaching his followers, everyone there, that this is how you argue. This is how you argue to your average person. This isn't a real debate. This is how you argue with people. When they say, "Oh, you're in a cult," you just say, "Oh, what is it? The whole world is a cult." Oh, you're doing this. Oh, well, is that any different than, oh, you have a guru and he controls you. Well, is that any different than Taylor Swift? You go to Taylor Swift concert or you watch an NFL game. That's just the same thing. You're consumed, whatever. That's what he's doing. He's just trying to say, this is how you can argue with somebody who tells you that you're in a cult. He's not having a debate. He's not having a real debate with anybody. He's not able to debate anybody. These people are not able to debate anybody. They're not smart enough to debate anybody. Yes, it's a cult, 100%. Read a book about cults and you will know it. Read a book about cults and you will know it's the same tactics in all cults. Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't have to join Hare Krishna, and you don't have to take anybody's word for it. You can just read about cults and read what ISKCON is, and it's evident that it's a cult right away. It's so instantly you can see. Prabhupada was a true mastermind of cults. Prabhupada knew what he was doing. He definitely knew how to work these people, how to work us all. He worked us all. Absolutely. Vomit on all these damn scams. Playing with people's lives. Absolutely. Messing with people's families. Ruining people's lives. Ruining people's marriages. Ruining people's relationships with their loved ones. All because of this guy. So you can go wash this guy's feet and you can wash this other jerk-off's feet. Where is that guy? This guy. Ruining people's lives, ruining people's marriages, ruining people's relationships with their husbands, wives, their children, their parents, so they can go do this. Look at it.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Pisses me off. Pisses me off, these guys. Ruining lives, man. Ruining people's lives. Ruining their disciples' lives. Wasting their lives away. The philosophy is rigged. Whatever they're teaching, it's not helping anyone. It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help anyone. It is, they don't want people to be married. They preach philosophy. They go against human nature. They they don't want young people married. The young brahmacharis, they want them out selling books and working. And then the older ones, when they're 25, 26, then they can get married to the young girls. The young boys up until 25, they don't get married. They're out in that bus. They're on that bus, traveling around, acting a fool, spreading their books. Yeah, a normal life, man. A normal life. These goddamn Hare Krishnas, I hope they wake up to see reality and the law is laid on for all of them. I know, man. You know, these scammer gurus, I just hope that one day, you know, they just, that there is no more, there's no more gullible people, that all the gullible people have either given money or they're done. And there's no more for them to fish. You know, there's no more for them to fish and try to the lake is dry. That's what I'm hoping for. And these gurus are like, hey, where's my money? They got no followers, they got nobody coming in. That's what I'm hoping for. These yeah, they that's it. That's it. You're gonna have nightmares about that. I know. That's happy Halloween for you there. That's a Halloween. That's a haunted house. You go in the haunted house and that guy's sitting there and you gotta wash his feet. That's pretty spooky and creepy. Oh my God. Ryan Mahafrad prohibited men from getting married. He handpicked his lifelong monks, all young, beautiful American men. Man, it's so disgusting. These freaks. What other video do I got? I got that one. It's Mayapur. It's this one. Let's take a look at this. Up there he is. There he is with all his women. He's got his girls, his ladies with him. His molester pod. You say he destroyed many lives, including his goddaughters, who ended up single and bereft because the men are forced to be monks under Premananda. He was the most. Yeah, these guys, they all treat women the same because it's all coming from their books. And that's why I'm saying, like, you can't say that you're helping women and children and be spreading Prabhupada's books at the same time. That's why this pod guy is such a fraud. He's not helping anybody as long as he's promoting Prabhupada's books and promoting this disgusting crap.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to Sridhar Mayapur, one of the most sacred places in the universe. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in Madhurya Kandambini, the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is sweetness personified, is a surging bank of clouds that bring life to the seeds of devotion planted in the field of the heart, extinguishing the fire of material desires and bestowing.
I don't listen to his crap. I can't stand listening to these people's crap, knowing all the damage that crap does to people's lives. It's just, they would destroy marriages in the early 70s when married couples joined. Yeah, well, you know, I was reading that one post online that was a girl was saying that she's only been in the movement 2 months and now she's confused and frustrated. she's having issues with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend doesn't want to be a devotee, and now she doesn't. And it just is, you know, breaking up families in real time, breaking up this guy's relationship with his girlfriend. You know, he probably, you know, probably loved his girlfriend, loves his girlfriend. She probably loved him. They're probably really happy together. She didn't say anything about not being happy. She didn't say anything about not being happy, like, well, we were having problems or this or that. She's just like, hey, you know, I got into Hare Krishna. I've been doing it for 2 months now, and you know, I don't want to be intimate with my boyfriend, and you know, and we're having problems, and I'm confused, and I'm anxious, and I'm frustrated, and I don't want to lose Krishna, and I don't want to lose Krishna. How do you get involved with the spiritual movement and in 2 months you're already all screwed up with your boyfriend and this and that, and you're confused and frustrated and having anxiety and all of these things, all because of some imaginary Krishna mythology stories got it messed up into your head. Now you're being manipulated and emotionally blackmailed into thinking that if you want to have a certain kind of happiness, you got to cut off all this other stuff from your life. Why? I'm happy doing it now with my friends and family in my life and all this stuff, but you're telling me that I can't really do that. I gotta like cut everybody off. I gotta give up having sex. I gotta give up all of these things. Why? I was happy before. When I got your friggin' book, everything was fine. When I got your book and I was reading the book, I didn't have to break up with my boyfriend to read the book. But now all of a sudden that I'm going to the temple every day, and you know, and I want to. You know, now you're telling me I got to break up with my boyfriend. The fuck is that? And swimmer pods over here going, oh, we're not a cult. Oh, we're not a cult. Why are you saying we're a cult? Oh, we're not a cult. Why are you saying we're a cult? We're not a cult. You know, what about Taylor Swift? Taylor Swift isn't telling anybody they got to break up with their boyfriend. Taylor Swift isn't telling anybody you got to donate a bunch of money to me so I can go swim in the Thames River and scam you so I can print some books. Taylor Swift ain't doing that. Fucking scammers. Fucking pieces of shit. This guy's a piece of shit, if you ask me. Scamming these people, pretending to be a holy man. He ain't holy. He's about as holy as the turd I dropped off in the toilet. That's about how holy he is. Sitting there acting like, oh, I got to go swim in the river. You got to give me money so I can go swim in a river in my $400 wetsuit. The fuck you need a $400 wetsuit for, you friggin' fake holy man? You gonna tell me that this guy washing friggin' Hugh Turvey's feet is the same as buying a Taylor Swift record and going to a Taylor Swift concert? Fuck you, you fucking sick, fucking disgusting piece of shit. Fucking disgusting. I met a woman from El Salvador, and she told me this religion destroyed her marriage when they joined the temple in '79. They were promised land and a house, but their ISKCON guru stayed with it. Yeah, you know, they just. How many people has that happened to, man? So many people have given shit to their guru. Their guru's like, oh, I need this, I need that. I need a laptop. I need to go to the Thames. I need to swim in the river. I need to do whatever. These guys, nothing but fucking scammers. And he's sitting there and he's gonna pretend like he's having a debate. Is kind of cult debate with Sivarama Swami. He ain't having no debate with anybody. Is this kind of debate? He ain't having no debate with anybody. Here's fucking propaganda trying to trying to just promote yourself as some holy man, some cosplaying holy man. A series of lively mock debates designed to help participants learn how to present and defend key Vaishnav principles. Fucking bullshit. You couldn't debate your way out of a paper bag. This piece of shit couldn't debate. He couldn't debate me. He would never debate me. Because I would just cut right through his bullshit and say, your books are full of shit and you're full of shit. End of debate. Because I ain't going to take his fucking crap. That's it. I want to debate you about your friggin' mythology and your friggin' statues and your Zeus and Poseidon. That's what it is. You just have different names for those same gods. Zeus sits in the cloud and makes it rain. There's lightning bolts or whatever. And Indra, he sits in the clouds and makes it rain. You're going to tell me just a bunch of stories and you're like some expert on these stories, so that makes you a holy man? Give me a break. These guys, man, this is all he knows how to do. He doesn't know how to do anything else. Rule number 1, do not donate your money to any church. You will regret it. Absolutely. Don't give your money. Don't give money to any church. Don't give your money to no church, no holy man, no guru. Fuck. This religion is the equivalent of a used car salesman. You're promised a dream and you end up with a lemon. Absolutely. End up with a headache. It's like that girl. She's like, I've only been in it for 2 months. I'm confused. I'm frustrated. My boyfriend and this and that. They don't know. She doesn't know what's going on. 2 months. 2 months. 2 months. She's already like, I thought I was just going to chant Hare Krishna. No, no. There is no just chanting. Oh, I thought I could just add chanting. No, no. There's no just adding chanting to anything. Because we told you we told you that, but we didn't mean it. We just said that to get you hooked. Tell you donations are for security, spiritual credit, so you go to Goloka Vrindavan. Yeah, spiritual credit, spiritual bank account. I'm just making a deposit. That's bullshit, man. All that shit. I used to believe that shit, and there's still shit left over in there that won't come out. It's like, there's still stuff left in there that I can't get out of my head. There's like little things rattling around in there. I can't get them out. So there's bullshit. So, hey, everybody, I want to thank everybody for watching today. I had a lot of fun. Should we spin the wheel? I don't have the wheel anymore. My computer crashed. I have to make a new wheel. I don't have the wheel at this time. The wheel is under construction. The wheel is under construction. So I'll have to work on getting a new wheel, Wheel of Idiot. But I want to thank everybody today for watching today. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you learned something about the Ritviks and this pod character and this Tattva Darshan character and this swimmer pod character. This guy can't debate nobody. He ain't debating nobody, man. And don't let them fool you into thinking that they got some philosophy. It's on another level. They get the top level this or topmost level that. It's on another spiritual plane. Don't fall for that bullshit. It's all bullshit. Don't believe a word of it. Don't believe anything these people say. They will lie and lie and lie. So that's my warning. That's my warning today. So let's see, what do I got? Is that it? That's it for today. We got bell, ding, the class is over for today. It was so much fun today getting back after not being being computerless for the last three or 4 days. It was rough, but it's great being back. It's great seeing everybody here, Jeff and Dahlia and Jeff again, and Jeff again, and Fake Human, and everybody. It's great, and Trey and user CE8, also known as N. Great to see you here as well. Thanks everybody. Thanks for everybody for coming by, stopping in, and watch out for the creepy guy's feet. Don't let him creep you out too much with those creepy feet. Washing those feet. And everybody have a great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. Have some great luck, and please stay out of a cult. And for all you new people out there that never seen me before, here I am as a Hare Krishna many years ago. Thanks, everybody.